you seated, watch the table, please, because we ain't got no more candles. Talking about Willis. He ain't gonna stop there. Nah. Alright. Yeah, that's what we want to start doing, damn it. YouTube is getting rid of our videos, so we going live on Instagram.
Good.
Yeah, they on us. We're one of the most hated.
We are the most hated, actually.
So everybody know what today is?
Okay.
Today's Hanukkah.
Right. So now that we coming into the season of Hanukkah, this is Maccabee season. By raise of hands, how many of y'all just came out of Thanksgiving? Nobody. That's good. That's good. You know, the Most High always got something extra. He always got something to combat the negative with positive.
God.
So this season, and sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's during November. Sometimes it's during December. There was one time it was around Christmas, right? Hanukkah was around Christmas,
God.
and then now it's around this pagan day. So this is the balance to the Most High, and you see the brothers and sisters of the house of Malak. You know, they decorated nice, and this is part of these feast days. All feast days, you know, there's nothing wrong with decorating. It's not just Hanukkah, but you could decorate all feast days.
God.
You know, but this is more of a time that you're supposed to decorate because we dedicated the temple, and that's another thing. What else is this day known as? Is it known as? Go ahead.
Feast of dedication.
Right. What else?
Feast of lights.
Feast of Lights. You see, and this is just to show you, they take everything from us. It's on my Instagram.
It's on the IG. It's on the IG.
They take everything from us. That's where they decorate the Christmas trees. They decorate houses and stuff like that. That comes really from the Feast of Lights.
God.
You understand? So the light was from the menorah. But this, we're gonna go into it. I'm gonna let Shaupa, you know, you see I got everything here, but I just wanna give everybody, especially the people that don't know online also, that we are in the Feast of Hanukkah. We celebrate our culture, our customs, our laws, our commandments, and this is what belongs to us. Thanksgiving does not belong to us.
Right.
Christmas does not belong to us.
Right.
This is our culture. You understand? This is a black holiday, if you want to call it like that. You know what I mean? Not no Thanksgiving. That's as white as you can get. So all these black power movements, all these Afrocentric, what was them, Pan-Africanism, they all about black power until they cut that turkey. You see? Everybody give up the ghost. So the last ones that's holding this thing down is us, man. There's nobody that go against not only white power and white supremacy, but we fight against their customs too. We're not keeping their customs. Because their customs is what? And what else? Pagan. All right. So without further ado, I always read it. You know what I mean? I can go into it, but the description of it. But we're gonna go into the scriptures first, and then I'll read this as a closing. So you ready to go in First Maccabees? You want to start off there, or you want to go to Daniel's?
Let's go to Daniel's first. Let's get the prediction.
Daniel's 8. Start from Start from 19. Start from, unless you want to go through the whole vision. I don't think you want to go through the whole vision. Let's start from 8:19.
That's some homework for y'all though. Y'all can read through the whole chapter of Daniel's 8. Some homework for y'all to do. Y'all should read for the whole chapter of Daniel's 8, the whole chapter of Daniel's 11, and the whole story of the Maccabees going to war through the Hanukkah. That's First Maccabees chapter 1 through 4. That's only 6 chapters.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 19. And he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed, the end shall be. Verse 20. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
So this was the time of the Persian Empire, right? Media, the Persian and Mede Empire. You can find that in the book of Esther, right? We was all up in that empire too. That's where the story of the Purim comes in, right? So a lot of people don't realize it, but the Bible is a history book. Every great empire that the earth ever known is recorded in the Bible. Every great empire. And this right here, the Apocrypha, they removed it because they said it was more historical than biblical. That was the Protestant church excuse when they removed it. You understand? So this is actually, them acknowledging the Bible as a history book when you go into the Apocrypha and the book of the Maccabees. Con? All right. So read on, King.
Verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
The what?
The king of Grecia.
So the rough goat, which is Alexander, right? He was a Edomite that rose up. He became the first Edomite king of the Greco-Roman Empire. He was like the official first ruler that came and dominated everything. Because it was other empires in Greece under the Moans, right? The Moans, who you know now as the Samoans, the Moans were the first Greeks until Alexander and his father ran them out, right? So this is the person who claimed to be a Greek, but was really a Macedonian and an Edomite, right?
He wasn't an Israelite.
He was not an Israelite. I don't know where brothers got that from, right? So read on, King.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it.
Right, and it goes into that too when you read the first chapter of Maccabees. Matter of fact, let's get into it. Hold that.
But what's the 4? The 4 is the 4 generals.
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna go into it, but we don't have to. You can write this down. The 4 generals, Lysimachus, if I believe that's how you pronounce it, he ran Asia Minor. Cassander, he ran Macedonia. This is the 4 generals of Alexander. Okay. Seleucus, he ran Syria, Babylon, Persia, and India. Ptolemy, or the P is silent. He ran Egypt.
God.
So those are the 4 generals. So Daniel prophesied about what the Apocrypha speaks of. So the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible. You understand? That's what he's speaking about. And we're going to go into it, but let's finish up here, and then we can just jump into that. Y'all can write those down. We're going to go into where you can see it.
Remember, it talks about the first king, right? The goat that's coming up, and then after he falls down, it goes into 4 pieces, right? Just remember that. Right? Read on.
Verse 22 from the top. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it. 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power.
Because it's not in his power, he died. Right? Read on.
23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding, dark sentences shall stand up.
Right? So remember, it says that another dark king is going to stand up, right? And look what the dark king does. Read on.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
He shall do what?
Destroy the mighty and the holy people.
So this is what this damn Edomite devil is destined to do. Even his name, Epiphanes, right? He's like God manifests. Is the same thing the pilgrims said when they was conquering Gad, right? They said this is manifest destiny. So Esau be knowing that he's moving in a prophecy like manna, but he be thinking he under God's authority, but he's really on the left-hand side. Right, read on.
And that's Antiochus Epiphanes.
Antiochus Epiphanes, kind of.
Verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right, through his policies, right? Like these wicked mandates we're dealing with now, right? What's that new COVID? They say this out now?
Omicron or something like that.
Abercrombie and Fish, Albacron.
It's like Omicron or something like that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's so many, right?
Optimus Prime. Transform.
It's something like that,
Transform.
right?
There's so many. I can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? So, right? And what that come with wicked mandates. And read that verse one more time.
And through his policy
Through his policies, right?
also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right? Craftiness, man. That crafty counsel like in Psalms 83. Right? All that craft they be telling which the witchcraft. Right? Everything is just crafty about these people, man.
And these don't this might go over some people's heads, but these are the same rulers today. Biden, Trump, these were the Caesars and these was the generals.
The Cuomos, all of them.
Right. Those were the same Grecians brought back today. They were the same Romans brought back today. And they definitely in the spirit of them also. And the spirit manifests. That's why the scriptures tell you that the spirit bear witness that we the children of God. So who does the spirit bear witness that they are? The children of who? The devil.
That's right. Sons of perdition.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Right? So he shall go against what? The Most High God, right? He shall go against the Prince of Princes. He shall go against the name of the Lord. He shall go against Yahweh Shai. He shall go against the Holy Temple. But he's going to be broken up. Read on.
And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore, shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted, and was sick certain days. Afterward, I rose up and did the king's business.
Right, that's it for that, right? So everything he described, right, is what's going to happen in this story, right?
Yeah, just finish that up. It's a little bit of a sentence.
All right, finish it, okay.
But none understood it.
No.
Or Salaki. I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it.
Right. None of them understood it then, but we get it now. You see what I'm saying? He understood it. Daniel understood it, but bringing it to the people then, Israel's like, what are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? They kind of lost like the Christian church. They think these beasts are coming out the water and it's gonna be like Godzilla. He got all these horns and it's like a cartoon. You understand? But the scriptures are speaking about people. That's why a person with no understanding thinks that the Bible is a fiction book or is a book of fairy tales, because they don't get this. They don't know what the scriptures is talking about. Okay?
So let's go to First Maccabees. First Maccabees and read from now 1 through 9.
So what?
First Maccabees, chapter 1. I'm going to read 1 through 9. Because this is going to describe the vision that Daniel was having.
You get it, or you want me to go and get it?
I got it.
Go ahead.
This is, everybody had to say come? This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
You gotta speak a little louder so you can get on both cameras.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
The what?
The Macedonian.
Right? Those were the 2 horns, right? Alexander, the son of Philip, him and his father, the Macedonians. They came through and conquered Greece with the other Edomites. This is why you have Caucasian Greeks. But if you look into ancient Greek archaeology, there were brown people first. Right? Read on.
Who came out of the land of Kittim, has smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
They did what?
Have smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
So they took out the Persian Empire, right? Remember, it was talking about the Persian and the Medes first, before Alexander took them out, right? Read on.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece,
The first over Greece, the first king, right? That goat, right? Read on.
and made many wars, and won many strongholds.
And he went on conquering, right? In the place of the what? The Persian and Mede Empire, he replaced them and he started that Greco-Roman Empire. That's why Alexander to this very day is just like a Caucasian hero. Because he was really their first stronghold on the earth, right? Read on.
And slew the kings of the earth.
And did what?
And slew the kings of the earth.
He slew the kings of the earth. Read on.
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations.
Right? He took spoils of many nations, right? And you can see he also oppressed, all the nations that he could get to. Even what? The children of Israel, right? Read on.
And so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Do y'all know what it means like when the earth is quiet before him? Like, yeah, they want no trouble. They ain't want to even say nothing against them.
They ain't want that smoke against them.
They
That's
want
what
that
that
smoke,
was.
yeah.
None can challenge them.
That's like America after they dropped that first atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Nobody really want to smoke with America. Only people that was kind of competing with them was Russia, but that was like a Cold War. They didn't really speak out. They were just doing sneaky stuff to each other. You understand? Nowadays, it's over for America. Everybody talking against America. China talk about you don't want this smoke. Korea talk about you don't want this smoke. Russia talk about you don't want this smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
America's talking about they don't want this smoke. They're talking about that against themselves. You know?
But then you look at the track record of America. America once again in the spirit of Alexander's generals and the spirit of the Greeks and Romans. What America do? They take out kings.
Yeah.
They take out Saddam Hussein. They take out Osama bin Laden. They take out Gaddafi. They take out Noriega. They take out all these different people.
Recently, the Haitian president, in the spirit of Maccabees, the Haitian president whose name was Moses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I still think they got from Cuba.
Fidel.
Fidel. You see? And then they got his brother in pocket. So this is how the spirit of these people work. So when we say the white man is the devil, it's proof in the pudding. Like somebody put up, I forgot, it was a meme, or it wasn't a meme, somebody wrote it all down. And it was like, the devil didn't put us in slavery, the white man did. The devil didn't rape our women, the white man did. The devil didn't do this, the white man did.
The devil didn't drop drugs in our neighborhood.
Right, the devil didn't drop drugs in our neighborhood, the white man did.
The devil ain't pushing the LGBTQ, XYZ, HIV.
Right, the white man did. So when we say the white man is the devil, look at his track record.
Yeah.
They call us thugs, they call us gangsters.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take that.
Yeah.
But who's playing the role of the devil?
It's like a distinction without a difference.
Right.
They're both one and the same. It's funny.
Yeah, they are. We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that too.
Come on, where we at?
God.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
At verse 3.
You already read verse 3, yeah, verse 4.
Yeah, verse 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations
Right.
and kings who became tribularities unto him.
Right. Read on.
And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
See, this is what he said that it parted what 4 ways, right? That's what we was talking about, right? And read those names again one more time, King.
Lysimachus, Asia Minor, Cassander, Macedonia, Seleucus, Syria, Babylon, Persia, and India, and Ptolemy, Egypt.
Right. So he parted his ways, and this way he does it. Right. Read on.
Come, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
And every Edomite reign is short. Please believe. How long has America been established? Who knows? Nah, we've been in captivity that long.
Yeah, it's less than that.
But
we
was in a conflict before America was even America.
We gotta do the history of the 4th of July.
Yeah, it was
It's about a little over 300 years actually.
not
1700 to 2021. That's about 300 years.
1776.
76 is a little, just a smidgen over,
It's
like
actually-
barely 200 and some change.
It's 200 and some
Yeah,
change. I think
yeah.
it's like 260 something,
Yeah.
280 something. So not even 300 years.
Right.
This empire that America, and it was like a real super dominant world power until they dropped the nukes. So, but they basically been reigning for like a good, let's say, rounded to 300 years. Right?
Yeah, that's what
Right. The Roman Empire was like what?
I think. The Roman Empire was
Like
about,
what, 250?
yeah, something like that. It wasn't no more than 500.
Right. So these are like short-lived empires, man. Right? Like Biggie said, your reign on top is short like leprechauns. It's like, so when a lot of people, when they just kiss the white man behind, when it comes to the history of Earth, man, Ham been ruling much longer than him. The Persian Medes had a longer rule. Well, damn it, we had a longer rule than him. Right? But right now, he's on top right now. He went and whitewashed everything during the Renaissance. So a lot of people think he's been ruling in Egypt. He been ruling this, that, and the third. Like, hell no, man. After the Roman Empire fell, well, we was ruling alongside with Ishmael and Ham as the Moors. The Moors broke up between us, Ishmael, and Ham. So we was ruling Europe for a good 800 to 1,000 years. So they even have Europe that long. And they barely had America long too. So understand, this the way Alexander ruled for 12 years and then died. Every reign of the Edomites has been short, man. Every reign.
But it's long to us, damn
It
it.
feel long to us.
It feels like an eternity, don't it?
That's why the Most High said, don't be ignorant of this one thing, that one day with him is 1,000 years.
Come.
So it ain't nothing to the Most High. And our captivity really ain't nothing. But we not prepared because we've been damaged so long.
Yeah.
But we not prepared mentally to be like, this is really nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures say, take it cheerfully.
Right.
You gotta take these things cheerfully. Okay.
You can read on that
Okay.
verse 8.
God, verse 8. And his servants bear rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And evils were multiplied in the earth, man. Evils, right? So nobody can say that the white man ain't the devil. Because it said as soon as they took rule, evils multiplied on the earth, man.
That's Job 9 and 24.
Yeah, Joe 9, get it. Hold on and get it.
I get it. You hold what you got. I get it.
Man, I also want Revelations 2 and 9 too before I bring out this book right quick.
book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha,
Job 9 and 24.
that's where I'm at. That's 9 and 24.
No, you're not. Job is over here.
Am I not? Oh, damn, I'm slipping. Salakia. I'm like, Salakia. Nah, I knew that wasn't right.
So that babysitting.
I knew that something wasn't right. I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, Salakia. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
And that's what he did during the Renaissance. He covered the faces of the judges. We are the judges. According to 1 Corinthians 6 and 2, we shall judge the earth, man. According to the book of Judges, we are the judges. You understand? So he covered the faces of the judges thereof, especially the top judge, Yahushua. Right? Read Revelations 2 and 9. Then I'm going to bring out this book right quick.
I got it. You hold what you got. I got it.
Now I already got Revelation.
You already there?
Yeah.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
want you to read this
Okay,
book.
go ahead.
Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works
Page 17.
in tribulation.
Shema, read that
Start
again.
from-
Read that over.
Okay, go. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Right? The wicked, what? Inherited the earth, right? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. It says here in Maccabees 1 and 9 that the evils multiplied on earth when they took their seat, right? And now it's saying right here is comparing them to the synagogue of Satan, the Ish people, right? Who's really running the earth right now. They are the synagogue of Satan, man. And this book, read this.
The chosen people from the Caucasus.
From the Caucasus, right? From the Caucasus, right? Right? This is by a white boy, man. Show him the white boy on camera. This is by a white boy.
By a Caucasian.
By a Caucasian.
Y'all
Right?
see him?
Right? And what is it about?
Jewish origins, delusions, deceptions, and historical role in the slave trade, genocide, and culture colonization.
Right? The devil that the Bible speaks of, the synagogue of Satan. Now read page 17, second paragraph. Start from the second paragraph.
And this is page 17. Jewish historical and religious experiences in the ancient Middle East related in the Old Testament and supplementary rabbinical texts actually laid the foundation of the West's three major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So it can be said with no exaggeration at all that the Jews significantly molded the spiritual orientation of the entire Western world.
Right? Keep on reading.
Jews had immense influence in the expansion of Europe that began in 1492.
Right? 1492. What happened in 1492? Who knows? That's when Columbus sailed on the ocean blue. Right? Read on.
And culminated in world domination. For conversos, Jews, that is right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jews who had supposedly and voluntarily converted to Roman Catholicism put up most of the money to finance the first voyage of Christopher Columbus.
So Jewish people purposely converted unto Roman Catholicism. I didn't know why they wear them small hats. But they wanted to do what? Fund the voyage for Columbus, right? Read on.
So they kind of went undercover as Roman Catholics
Yeah.
to do that. Yeah.
Come on.
In the early days of the conquest of the Americas, from 1494 to about 1550, Jews were a numerous minority. If not an actual majority of the so-called Spanish colonists that settled the New World. So it's saying that the Jews was over in population, they was a minority, but they were the majority of the Spanish.
But the Spaniards.
The
that came
Spaniards,
over here.
right? They colonized Wow.
Yeah.
Now that I didn't know. Colonists that settled the New World. Many of the conquistadors
Many
were
of the
Jewish.
what?
The conquistadors were Jewish.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah. And this goes into why we should have destroyed Amalek in the first place.
Yeah. Kind.
There you go.
But you look at, the facial features, a lot of them, they got that big
Yeah. Hook
point,
nose.
that big point in their nose. And they a lot of them are like they tall and skinny.
That's how the conquistadors.
That's what the conquistadors were.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing as Amalek today, which will be the people that's walking around with our identity.
Yeah. With the top hats and broad cups. Right? Read on now.
And as such, took part in the most brutal episode of genocide.
The what?
Most brutal episode of genocide
Right?
and extermination the world has ever witnessed. So they played the main part in the brutalization of our people. They were the main event.
Yeah.
Those were the guys. Okay.
Those were the guys.
Within a century of 1492, the Native American civilizations
Read on.
has been destroyed and the population decimated by enslavement, starvation, and disease.
And so this is what they did. This is how they conquered the natives, right? The Jewish tricks, right? The Jewish fables and all that Kabbalism, witchcraft, right? Read
And
on.
then they gave you Negroes Thanksgiving.
And then they gave you Negroes
That's right.
Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day.
Damn right.
Read on.
When Native American labor grew scarce because of genocide,
Because of what? When
genocide,
the labor of Gad and Reuben grew scarce, right? All the tribes of Joseph grew scarce because of genocide. Read on.
Africans were forced into the New World tropics to slave in the mines and on plantations.
In the mines and plantations. I thought it was just plantation, but mines too. So they got all that gold, silver, and diamond.
Yeah.
California, all that type of stuff, all that off the backs of us. And they got the other tribes, the southern kingdom, because they was killing the northern kingdom too much. Right, read on.
That's why, Salakia, that's why Gad is so jacked up on them reservations.
Kind
And all they do is drink themselves to sleep. Just imagine, like, we are part
I don't know how
of
much of that I missed.
of this land, of what's happening on this land, the prosperity of the wicked. You see what I'm saying? Of course it'll drive you insane. Gad is jacked
I
up,
don't know
man.
how much I missed, but no, we can start right here. I just
Yeah,
spiced
Gad
it
is
up.
jacked up. Okay.
Gad is extra jacked up on the reservations, man.
When you record, there's a button called "Do Not Disturb."
Yeah, I
That's
should've-
what-
yeah.
You gotta press it when you.
It's actually on Do Not Disturb now, but my rib is on my favorite, so she can call. It don't matter. You know what I mean? But it's all good. You want me to keep going on that?
Yeah, keep going on that, okay?
Okay. It has been estimated reliably that between 10 and 15 million Africans and American Indians perished in slavery between 1494 and 1865.
Right? Read on though.
But some estimates range as high as 100 million victims.
100 million. Some estimates range up to 100 million. Right? 100 million. And these are the people you want us to be friends with? I can't do it.
Right.
I can't do it.
The ones you want to celebrate Turkey Day with.
The ones you want to celebrate Turkey Day with.
Don't feed the pilgrims.
Right? Do not feed the pilgrims.
Watch it.
start.
Watch it. Record.
Yeah, watch the camera.
Okay, shalom. Just shy with the fire on deck.
And all praises to Shalom. Man.
Yeah, read on that.
As conquistadors, financiers, and insurers of slaving voyages,
Then what? I'm gonna read that part one more time.
as conquistadors,
As the conquistadors, because remember they became the conquistadors through Catholicism, right? Read on.
financiers,
What?
financiers,
Financiers. Read on.
and insurers,
And insurers. They had insurance on the boats, insurance on the slaves, insurance on the gold. This what brings up what? Them banks, the Bank of America, the Rothschild banks, all
Wells
them
Fargo.
Wells Fargo, all them banks, they got bought off of slavery, right? And your Black Friday. That's why after Thanksgiving, they had the Black Friday. because they came up double times off of us. First the northern kingdom, then the southern kingdom. Read on.
Of slaving voyages, and as substantial slave owners in the West Indies and
And
Caribbean.
where?
The West Indies and
Oh,
Caribbean.
Benjamin, don't think you got away. Right? Levi, don't think you got away. They was also part of the slave, trades, where?
In the West Indies and Caribbean.
The West Indies and Caribbean. Read on.
Jews played a significant role in this infamy.
In this what?
Infamy.
Infamy. Read on.
A role that contemporary Jews are prone to deny.
They're prone to deny this, though. They act like they ain't have no parts of this. Right? Read on.
Disguise and distort in favor of their own victimization in Nazi Germany 450 years later.
But they want to talk about their Holocaust in Nazi Germany 450 years later. That's it on that.
But
And that's crazy if you read. Oh, Salaki, go ahead.
to bring it all home, see that shows you the 12 tribe chart is correct because
completely correct.
they tapped into the natives, they tapped into you got the Spaniards, right? The conquistadors, who they conquered, the people that speak Spanish today. Okay, who else did they conquered the West Indies. They conquered the Caribbeans. They conquered
West Coast of Africa.
the West Coast of Africa, and they conquered the Americas.
Americans, yeah.
So how are we not? How is that 12 tribe chart wrong?
Right.
You understand? It's so much archaeology and proof through history that, and they say it themselves.
They say themselves.
Now, is there more people that can be added to the 12 tribe chart? Of course there is.
Huh.
But we on this side, we in the biggest part of captivity. So
Right.
that's the sign that we use. We not in Africa. You know, our people are out there, but we held in captivity in the north.
We in Babylon.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, and Salaki, if I could, if you read that book, The Nazis by Time Life, they say the same thing. There's a documentary, it's about 4 hours long, called Hitler, The Untold Story, says the exact same thing. This is why we had World War II, because of those fake Jews.
Hey, but I just wanted to prove that, when the Bible says evils multiplied on earth, it was talking about these chosen people from the Chaanakah, right? The synagogue of Satan.
You know that book again?
I'm gonna need a copy. It's at 9. I need to get
Michael Bradley, this white boy right here. He said he grew up in the South, and he said he's seen it for himself.
And see, and that's another cut to when they say the white man is not Esau. You understand?
Yeah.
Esau has such a big role in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Japhet does not.
Japhet.
It does not make sense.
Right.
And Japhet means pretty.
Yeah.
What is pretty about the so-called white man?
To a coon.
Or beautiful. It means beautiful.
It means beautiful. to a
Imagine
coon.
that.
Imagine that. When the Most High calls blonde hair and pale skin an abomination.
Right.
So I don't see how that's beautiful at all.
Beautiful.
Right, but hey, leave it to Beaver. Right. Going forward though, I'm
Yeah, verse 10.
yeah, we have verse 10. But going forward, I'm gonna skip through certain things, or probably have certain things you want to go to. But the rest of this presentation I got for just comparing how the Maccabees did everything according to law.
Yeah, but let's read to like 11 verse there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The first thing I'm gonna do is 11 verse. So read verse 10 and 11. First Maccabees, yeah. First Maccabees, chapter 1 again, verse 10 and 11.
If you got to get it, I'm already here.
You
Go ahead and get it. You sure? Okay.
You said first Maccabees.
First Maccabees 1 and 10.
First Maccabees chapter 1, and then go to verses 10 and 11. But just go to the whole chapter, so keep up.
You want me to start at 10, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
Antiochus, surname Epiphanes. After they got broken down to the 4 kingdoms, they got passed down. Evils multiplied, but out of them came a real wicked root, Antiochus Epiphanes, man. Right? His name is God manifest, right? Like I said, the same Edomites that created this genocide, they named themselves what? manifest destiny. That's what they always say. So he did the same thing. It's all the same person, man. Read on.
Son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
The kingdom of what?
In the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right. This is the Greco-Roman Empire. Right. Read on.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
They what?
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
And then we always got the coons. Right. The same ones that say, I know the history of how it's Thanksgiving, but I'ma still do it. Right. Read on.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
Do what?
Make a covenant with the heathen.
So what law says you can't make a covenant with the heathen? Let's go ahead, Deuteronomy 7:2.
Right.
See, a lot of people only say Deuteronomy 7 only applies to Canaanites. But I said that was for Canaan at that time, yeah. But you could apply Deuteronomy chapter 7 to every nation, right? Because right here, the Bible said what? Make a covenant with them is wicked, right? How you prove it's wicked? By law. Read Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Thou shalt what?
Make no covenant with them.
Hold that. Read that one more time. Verse 11 in Maccabees.
Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
And that was wicked for them to make a covenant with the heathen. You know why? Because the law told you not to, man. So, yeah, that was written for the Canaanites at the time, but that law applies to every damn heathen, man. Right? Because if you say that law only applies to Canaanites, that means we could go make covenant with the heathen.
Right.
And the Bible speaks against that. That's why I got to be to the law and to the testimony. Right? For you to get full understanding, man. Right? Read that again from the top, Deuteronomy 7:2, and read it through. Because this is what Gad should have did when Esau came off them ships. Right? Read on.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Utterly destroy them. What we supposed to been do to Amalek. Utterly destroy them. Read on.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
There shall be no covenant with them. Read on.
No show mercy unto them.
Nor show mercy unto them. We don't care if you got off the ship sick and starving. We fed them and then they destroyed us, man. That's what your Thanksgiving was about. Read on.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Right? And not supposed to make marriages with them. That's it on that. Huh? Right? None of that. No mercy, no covenant, utterly destroy them. That's what the Bible says, man. Right? So, can read on that, King.
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round, that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Right? We had what?
Much sorrow.
We had much sorrow, man. That's what they're saying. Like, oh, man, we need them. We need the white man. We need that. Right? Because what? People get little trinkets and they just want to be down. They just want to be friends. They just want to love everybody. But you can't love everybody if everybody don't love you.
That's real.
Do I look like loving somebody that want to kill me and my family? Our people got to stop cooning, man. Right? You got anything you want to bring out? Because I want to jump to verse 47.
Jump to it.
All right, jump to verse 47 now.
Come, verse 47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols.
There you go to verse 45 so they can get the gist of it.
Come. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice.
So this what happened, right? When they started taking over Jerusalem, they forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice, right? Hold that out and you give me 2 Maccabees 6:6.
Okay.
So this also goes into how we became Gentiles in the New Testament, right? Because they forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice, right? They started forbidding the works of our culture.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
Right? It's not lawful for you to do Sabbath days when you're under the oppression of what? The enemy, man. That's why the Most High God don't want you making no covenant with them. Because now part of the covenant is you can't keep the Sabbath days, right? Read on.
or ancient feasts,
Or any ancient feast, right? The burnt offerings got to go. The ancient feast got to go, right? Read on.
or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
And you can't even say you a Jew. Well, damn, if we say we Jews now, they say it's hate speech. So it got to be the same people.
Right.
Nick Cannon had to renege. They messed up. They tried to mess up that man's life. Anybody that say that we are the children of Israel, they treat it like it's a taboo thing, like we hate somebody all because we claim our nationality. Oh yeah, I do hate the evil, but hate has nothing to do with me claiming my nationality. It has absolutely nothing to do with that.
So like you could claim anything.
Yeah.
They don't have a problem with it until you say you're a Hebrew Israelite.
You could say you're an Egyptian. You could say you a man that want to be a 12-year-old girl. You could say you a woman that want to be a pony. You understand? But as soon as you say you a Hebrew Israelite, or you an Israelite, you're turning from a Negro to an Israelite, or an Indian to an Israelite, or a Hispanic to an Israelite. They hate it. Now it's hate speech. You understand? So you gotta understand we going with the same people. You continue on that. That's
Okay.
the second one.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice
Right? Read on.
and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath days.
They shall what?
Profane the Sabbath and festival days.
They profane the Sabbath and festival days. And who's the most profane person according to Scripture? What verse is that? Who gonna pull it? Not you two up here. Let's see somebody know this will pull it. Who's the most profane person?
Stop using your phone.
Yeah, I'm about to say you cheating. You using your phone, you cheating.
Stop, you can't even say nothing. You're out the game. You're on the sideline, bro. It's in the New Testament.
I give y'all a hint. It's in Hebrews.
Just gonna let that one alone. I know you know. Over here, no.
Good, I got it.
All right? The Rock.
I was at 7
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16.
God.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
As what?
As Esau.
As who?
As Esau.
So it would be any profane person as Esau, man. He's known for doing profane things, man. Right? Esau was who we talking about, right? Read on that,
Okay.
Who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
right? So that's what he's talking about. Go back to Maccabees and read that part again where it says profane.
Verse 45. And that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days,
Right?
and pollute the sanctuary and holy people,
Right? Read on.
set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts,
Disgusting. Read on.
and that they should leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable.
Right? They wanted to leave the children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable, man. Read on.
With all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
More profane thing, profanation. Right? Read on.
It's like, if I could, that you got to be a disgusting monster to be going around looking at baby, you know what I'm saying, penises to ensure that they're uncircumcised.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
But it goes hand in hand with the straw hats.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand with the
Because that's the first thing a so-called Jew tells you, or asks you, are Jews circumcised? Like, what do you want to know if we circumcised for? That's the first thing they do in a debate or confrontation. They ask another grown ass man,
Yeah.
how does their penis look? And then it, for some odd reason, is in their custom to chew on it and spit it out.
God. Oh God.
You see what I'm saying?
Just
So
think- God.
it's showing you these are the same individuals. Like, it's not gum. It's not.
Yeah, so like I had to stop that, but I mean, come on, and make their souls abominable with all manner of. I mean, to ensure that they're uncircumcised. How do you do that?
Yeah, they're looking at baby penises.
God Almighty. Verse 49.
You know,
To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
right? And they want us to what? Cut us off from being a nation, man. The tabernacles of Edom, man. Read on.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die.
Right? So they was going to kill us if we ain't follow that, right? Read on.
In the selfsame manner rode he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers.
They're pointing what?
Overseers.
What they had in the cotton field? What
Overseers.
they had back then?
Overseers.
It's the same people, man. I don't know how much comparisons y'all want to see. Right? Read on.
Over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice,
They want to pick on Judah, always, man. At the neck of the enemy. Read on.
city by city.
Right? Read.
Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land.
They did what?
Committed evils in the
And
land.
that was their whole purpose. They just want us to commit evils in the land. So the Most High God wasn't with us. You understand? Read on.
And drove the Israelites into secret places.
Right? And look, we had to hide where? Into secret places, man. To this very day, man, our brothers be on the run. You know what I'm saying? I know brothers that have been on the run for years trying to get away from the feds. And it's not because the brother's guilty. You just know that a Fed charge is hard to beat, especially if you ain't got no lawyer money. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they drove the Israelites into secret places, man. Just like we was getting away on the Underground Railroad.
But that's happening now also with a lot of our people buying land to get away from these mandates.
That's right, Kyle.
You know,
Yep.
if they tell you you got to take this, take that, and now with all these new strains coming out, what else they gonna put in you?
Yeah.
They don't even got it yet. You ain't even heard of the new jab. They gonna come with some new stuff.
The
Some
booster.
It's gonna be the super booster. Like, they coming with new stuff because of new variants.
God.
And eventually, they gonna turn. It may sound crazy, may sound conspiracy theories, but they gonna turn niggas into zombies.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate plan. It's too many things going on.
Yeah.
Too many videos. They show you in Hollywood. They show you the UFOs. They show you these pandemics coming. They show you World War. They show you zombies, and it's all coming to play. So don't put that. Don't put it past The Walking Dead, man. Don't put it past. Go ahead.
Okay. And drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar.
They did what?
Set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar.
And this was also prophesied by Daniel. Let's get Daniel 9 and 27. Hold that. Daniel 9 and 27.
This is Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. Where everybody have a say, come? Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even until the consumption.
Right? So that's what he did. Right? in the space of 1 week, because remember, he said the 15th, and by the 25th, he set up the abomination desolation, man. Right? And that was prophesied by Daniel too. Daniel had the prophecies, man. Book of Daniel is a strong book. To this very day, Esau be confounded how much prophecies come true out of that book.
Just out of Daniel alone.
Just out of Daniel alone. Esau be super confounded. Right? Read on in the Maccabees, King.
Okay.
What verse is that?
54.
54? All right, so we're going to jump again. We're going to jump to 59. Read 59 through 62.
Okay.
This shows you that the whole Christmas spirit was also part of the Greco-Roman Empire, that old wicked Christmas spirit that they're about to celebrate next.
Okay. Verse 59. Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the 25th day of the month.
The 25th of that month, man. Right? The 25th of that month. Right? And it was the 10th month. The number 10, it goes into Dec, right? DEC. That's where they get December from. So literally, they count December as the 10th month, cryptically. And on the 25th day of December, what they do? It's a wicked pagan festival. It's the same thing in this. Start again from the top, King.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
DS.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Right, that's 10.
Yep. That's what I was just about to say too. Now the 25th day of the month,
The 25th day of the month, read on.
they did sacrifice upon the idol altar,
On the idol altar, read on.
which was upon the altar of the Most High.
Read.
At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women.
They put to death what?
Certain women.
Oh, yeah. Esau get greasy like that.
Sandra Bland.
Sandra Bland. He a chump. They just did it to Malcolm X's daughter. Right?
The
She
other
said,
one. The other one. The other sister.
Corinne Gaines.
Yeah, but the other one that made the noise that this guy got locked up behind. Breonna Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, Esau like, what elders the box say? The soft targets.
Right.
Right? He a chump like that. Right? So read what he did to the women.
At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
So he went around penis watching the little children, little babies, and they killed the mothers if they circumcised the babies, right?
But in 2021, the black woman loved to swirl.
Yeah.
They love to swirl.
Huh?
They want the meat with no color in it, it's just blood.
Right.
Look like a pig raw.
But
The
I
hell
don't
they
know what the
doing
hell
with
that
that,
means.
It's straight up. You want a damn near a piece of meat full of pus, man.
Oh man, that's gross.
That's what it look like, damn near. Come on, man. Their whole body look like that.
Yeah, God.
Okay, go ahead.
And they hang the infants by their necks.
And they what?
Hang the infants by their necks.
So not only did they kill the women, but they hung their infants, dead infants by their necks too. Yeah, and like you said, in 2021, the black woman want to swirl, end up in the damn drain like that, flush down the hole.
Ghetto gaggers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good God Almighty. You know?
And rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them.
And slew them for being circumcised, man. Why is it that serious to Esau?
Right.
Why is it that serious? Because he wants you to disrespect your God, man.
And
You
now,
did that. Oh, sorry.
who they coming for now? Who are they coming for today? They coming for the circumcised of the spirit, the circumcised of the heart, the people that repented from their ways that's not living like Gentiles no more. Eventually, they coming for us. The Bill Gates situation with all these different jabs. There's a video where he shows that they want to change the minds. They use Islam and the radicals of Islam, but they said radical extremist religious people to change and alter their minds by a jab. So who they really eventually coming for? The circumcised, the Israelites that repented, the Israelites that's keeping the laws, the Israelites that are not trying to go out like Young Dolph, that's not trying to go out like Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
You know, the ones that are changing their lives and the generational curses, man, of their families. We putting the pipes, the crack pipes down. We putting the blunts down.
Right.
We putting certain things down. We putting a white woman down.
Right.
You know, putting white Jesus down, putting Christmas down. And that shit is hard, man. A lot of our, especially when you the black, you become the black sheep of the family and you feel isolated from your family because they're uncircumcised. You the circumcised.
Right.
So that's the same way they coming for them then, they coming for us now. Because those were us. And those were them.
That's right.
God. It's a lot here. I was just thinking about it the other day, man, how cunning of a hunter Esau is, right? All he really did was studied us to figure out what is our weakness, right? So of course he went to the scriptures. Oh, if I get them to eat pork, if I get them to do such and such, if I can get them to constantly profane their God, then this is how I can take advantage of them. I can't wait for the day that we get a chance to sit down and study Esau's weaknesses and study his habit to want to play with little boys and pedophilia and take those same weaknesses that he has and turn it on his ass and make that his kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't really sit around and think about, okay, what's Esau's weakness? How do we put him in a trick bag? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I know the Most High gonna give us that wisdom in due time when that day comes, but that's really all Esau did to us.
Yeah.
He sat there and he said, okay, how can what's their kryptonite? You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't beat us physically.
No.
Couldn't beat us no other way. So he had to use that what the Most High gave him, his ability to be a cunning hunter. Let me lure them into adultery. Let me lure them into this. Let me lure them into anything that makes them weak.
Anything.
And then look at us today. We love the stuff that makes us weak.
What's his name? Holofernes in Judith the 5th chapter told you that.
Yeah.
If they get them in sin, they'll win against them. But if they're righteous, they're not going to be able to do nothing.
They ain't got a chance.
So he gave him the breakdown right there. Verse 62. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
Right. See, this is the Israelites that are written with honor, man. And if you go into 2 Maccabees chapter 7, it gives you a story about Israelites like that. You know what I'm saying? About the woman, her 7 sons, right? How they all just went out like G, straight up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to profane the Most High God because they knew that, hey, when you take that when you take that sacrifice of death, that it actually equals a crown of life, man. And they had that understanding even back then.
Yeah.
You know, so we gotta have the same Maccabean spirit as our ancestors that would not fold when it came to the law. Con?
Right. It's a lot. You see, we was on Clubhouse a couple days ago, and there's a brother. He don't state what camp he was from, but he was in a camp, and he had actually got the jab. And he said his camp told him that he was weak, straight up, and he's not part of the camp no more. And then he brought up another camp that push the jab, that said you should go and get it. So he said I was torn between both camps, and I don't know what am I supposed to do. Well, you already done it.
Yeah,
So now what you gotta do, you gotta try to detox your body from everything, you know what I'm saying? You gotta try to detox. You gotta do certain things, go on fast, try to get all of that stuff out of your system. You know, try to eat cleansers, drink cleansers, but
right.
You are weak.
Yeah.
If you fall, and it's a judgment call for everybody, but you are weak if the pressure ain't even applied yet.
Nah.
Nah, sure ain't.
It ain't applied yet. Like you can go get another job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can. I know it's hard. There's not too many jobs still out here, but you can. If you actually have faith in the Most High and you keeping His commandments, then you'll be all right. You'll have that in the back of your mind. Yeah, I'm gonna be all right. The Most High gonna give us our daily bread, man, and that's all we need. Don't try to excel and you know ain't nothing wrong with excelling. If you can excel. If you can put other brothers on, other sisters on, handle your business. But you're weak-minded if you fell. There was a meme. Somebody put that up. They said, if you took the jab, I can't trust you. You bound to snitch if the pressure be put on you.
Right.
Cause you folded quick.
Right.
You ain't even give an opportunity. I can't go to the gym. No, nigga, go to the park. Do push-ups.
Sure.
Go do pull-ups. Go and buy your weights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go exercise, run in the park, do something else. But Jake don't want that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people fold under pressure. And
they love comfortability.
right. They don't want to be out of their comfort zone. But this shows you the Maccabees, well, we're gonna go into it, but they stepped out of their comfort zone, man.
Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and start at verse 7.
Cause the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 7. He said, woe is me, wherefore I was born to see this misery of my people.
Right, so he's saying, woe is me, that I even see the misery of my people, right? Read on.
Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there,
Right?
when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy.
So he hates to see his people get conquered, man. Right? So he says, woe is me to even see this abomination happen to our people, right? Read on.
And the sanctuary into the hand of strangers.
Into the sanctuary, into the hand of strangers, man. Right now, our holy land is in the hand of strangers. So Maccabees actually feeling like how we feeling, man. Right? Read on.
Her temple is become as a man without glory.
A temple has become what?
A man without glory.
A man without glory, man. A defeated man. Read on.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity.
And what? Same thing we've seen. The glorious vessels of Yahweh carried away into captivity. It's the same thing. The same people. Right? It's like, I don't know how much comparisons y'all need, man. Right? What happened? To stop?
Yeah, stop.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I'm telling you,
But they got like if you look at the Ark of Titus, they got that over in, I think it's in France. Is it France or Rome? It might be in Rome. I can't remember exactly where. I actually seen it live in concert. But they got that memorial on that where they was taking our stuff out of the actual temple. It's called the Ark of Titus if you look it up.
Right, what verse you in?
9.
I read it to 10.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets.
Her infants are slain in the streets, man. Right? That's all that population control, the Planned Parenthood, the jabs. You understand? The police brutality, all that's population control on our people, man. Read on.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
Yeah, our young man died with the sword of the enemy, man. Right? Read on.
What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom?
What nation have not had a part in our kingdom, man? What nation have not slaughtered us, man? Everyone. Read on.
And gotten of her spoils.
Right? Every nation took part in this. This is why every nation shall go into captivity. Right? So the brother Matthias, right? He felt pain for seeing his people go through pain, right? And what law was he keeping then? One of the top commandments.
Love thy brother.
Love thy neighbor as thyself. What commandment is that? Well, where you can find that in the law?
And that's an even.
Where you can find love thy neighbor as thyself. Right? Yahweh Shai said that's one of the top commandments. And Matthias was feeling that because he said, woe is me to see my people in such a place. Because that's the problem with a lot of our people. They see something happen to one of us and they be like, well, that ain't me. Shit, that couldn't be me. Ain't nobody I know.
That's what Christianity teaches us.
Yeah.
Christianity is a selfish religion, man.
Where's that one? Thou shalt not stand in the blood of thy people, or stand against the blood of thy people. Is that what it is?
That's 16.
That's the one you're looking for, right?
Nah, I'm looking for 18.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking
But 16 is a good one too.
Mhm.
My man.
about. Oh yeah, that is. Yep, you're right.
I say you can also compare that to when Moses slew the Egyptian too.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Moses did slew that Egyptian, and rightfully so. Who found it? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Because you ain't gonna see yourself get killed, right? And not feel no type of way. So that's what the Most High God is asking you, to love your neighbor as you would yourself, right? And that would solve a lot of things. Because I'm not gonna smack around a woman if I want nobody smacking around my moms. I'm not gonna sell this person crack if I want nobody selling my brother crack. So that's why Yahweh Shai said it's one of the greatest commandments, man. I want to go rob this old man for his little check if I want somebody doing that to my uncle. So this is why loving thy neighbor as thyself, understand, is one of the most important commandments according to Yahweh Shai. Give y'all a hint, it's in Leviticus. You said 19 to 20, that's close.
You dangerously close.
19, 17?
That's close. So
17 and 19. I don't look at the phone, but
it's in between 20 and 17.
Man, you said it too.
You said it.
You just said it.
Hold that real quick. I'm an Israelite. I'm an Israelite.
18, right?
It's 19 or 17, but I don't want to read out
It's,
my phone.
it's 18. It's 18.
Yeah.
Y'all should not
The
hit
point
that
is at
button that
18.
hard. It's,
Nah, that's very good against the children.
The point is at 18. What are you asking for?
No, 18 says love thy neighbor.
that's not avenge.
It's 18.
So read it. Let's get it.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So
I am
that's
the Lord.
So that's what Matthias was doing. He was loving his neighbor as himself. That's why he said, woe was me to see my people in such a wicked predicament. And that's the type of Maccabean spirit that we all should have. That we see what's going on with our people. We see our women getting their baby snatched out of their hand in labor rooms because they don't want their baby taking a jab. Right? We should like feel like, damn, that could be my child.
Yep.
You understand? We should hate to see young Dolph get gunned down. Like, damn, that could be my brother. Because my brother ain't keeping no commandments, he off. You understand? So, we should just be loving our neighbors as ourselves right now. Right? And that's one of the greatest commandments, right?
But also, there's a fine line there because he was mourning the people that was standing their ground, that was keeping the law. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't mourning the people that made a covenant with them. So once you make that covenant with you, go back to Yahweh Shai, we still ordered and commanded to love our people.
Yeah.
But Yahweh Shai said, who's your brother? Who's your mother? Who's your sister?
Right.
So just what we say, all skin folk is not kinfolk.
Right.
So just because they're Israelite, don't mean they're your brother.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. Let's jump to verse 17 and read it to 27.
God, First Maccabees 2 and 17. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias, on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren.
So this is the king's representative trying to coerce Matthias, right? Trying to sweet talk him, or like we say, finesse him into joining the side of the heathen, right? Read on.
Now therefore, come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment.
And this is what Kyrie Irving is still fighting over, right? Because Kyrie ain't folded up yet, right? But hey, LeBron did, right? So this is him saying, hey, be the first person to live out this mandate, right? Because you so mighty, the people gonna follow you, right? Read on.
Like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also.
He said, oh, do it like your brother Judah did it, right? Right? He said, Levi, your brother Judah over there selling out, so you should do it too. Right? Read on.
And such as remain at Jerusalem.
Now he said, such that remain at Jerusalem, right? Because remember, the people had to flee Jerusalem from persecution. So he said the ones that could stay in Jerusalem or stay in that city is the ones that had to follow that mandate, right? Read on.
So shalt thou in thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
So he said, we're going to give you silver, gold, and many rewards, and you shall be called one of the king's friends. They're trying to really sweeten the deal so Matthias could what? Be a leader to lead his people into sin, right?
So we can, what do you say, vax that thing up, right?
And that's what they do today.
Yeah.
All the leaders and puppets, all the leaders of so-called leaders of our people are puppets and pawns in their hands.
Yeah.
What J. Edgar Hoover said, you ain't gonna have no black Messiah unless they give him to you.
Right.
So it's the same thing. They're all in pocket. Every politician, high politician, not these little skimsy ones that just coming out of law school. None of them. But, some of them are, but all of them are in pocket, man. The judges, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. So those judges are in pocket. Everybody's a part of the program. Your Kanye's. You ain't talking about the children of Israel, but he's part of the game. He's part of the game. He's part of the boule. He sold his soul. He tell you that. All these rappers, and then people say, nah, I don't believe it. They tell you in the record.
Mm-hmm. We mentioned it.
They tell you, why would you say that if you just playing around? Now, if you are playing around, well, you done said it. So you're willing to go that extra mile for the clout or for the fame or for the controversy. You did it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? You still did it. Okay? Go ahead.
We know that.
Verse 19. Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice.
Right, so Matthias started barking on him. He got loud with him, right? Read on.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him.
He said, all these other nations that's under the king's dominion obey him. Read on.
And fall away every one from the religion of their fathers.
So you fall away from the culture of your fathers. Your father gave you a culture, right? You better not fall away from it. Read on.
And give consent to his commandments.
Right?
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
So he said, no, me, my sons, and my brethren, like Joshua said, me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. He said, no, we're going to walk in the covenant of our fathers. Read on.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
He said, God forbid we should forsake the law and the ordinances. Right? Read on.
We will not hearken to the king's words.
Read.
To go from our religion either on the right hand or the left.
From the right hand or the left, man. Read on.
Now when he had left speaking these words,
so he refused to do it, right? And balked on him saying it. So he said it with a loud voice so everybody heard. But as soon as he refused, guess what happened? Read on.
There came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar.
So he done came, there go a coon, right? Right, made a covenant, like Ephraim was saying, you made that covenant, now you straight food, man. Read on.
Which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
So now he gonna do the king's commandment. We trying to follow the commandments of God, and he go doing the wicked king's commandment, right? Read on.
Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
He was what?
Inflamed with zeal.
He was very angry. He was inflamed with zeal. Read on.
And his reins trembled.
He was so mad that he trembled. He was like, ooh. He was so mad that he trembled. Right? Read on.
Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment.
He couldn't even hold himself back. So that he did his anger according to what?
To judgment.
Because this is before Yahweh Shah died on the cross. Right? That mercy seat was empty. So guess what he did? Read on.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
He did what?
Slew him upon the altar.
He did what?
Slew him upon the altar.
He slew him upon the altar, man. Right? Read on.
Also the king's commissioner,
And he also killed the king's commissioner. Read on.
who compelled men to sacrifice.
Because he like, man, you done had me put my own brother to death because he cooning for you. So I'm going to kill you too. You know what I'm saying? You tell me that's not no gangster.
Yeah.
They killed him on the altar. They didn't kill him. That's what he told him to do.
Oh, you thought you gonna slide?
You thought you was going to slide? You the reason why this happened. You ain't going to slide. Let me say, you should message to your king right quick. You know what I mean? That's the testosterone right there.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
Remember in the movie 300 when he was like, "You're not supposed to kill the messenger."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Wayne told him, he said, in 300, he said, "You come in front of my children,
With the
in
head
front
of,
of my wives."
with the head of kings?
Right, right. You know what I'm saying? That's that spirit.
That's good, all right.
That was gangster, man.
Right? What verse you on?
I'm still
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of 25. But
Read that.
I'm still in the middle. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. He killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phinehas did unto Zambri, the son of Salom.
Right? So he's doing it like his forefathers did. He's zealous for the Lord. Read on.
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
So now he going on the run. He's saying, listen, if you down with keeping the law and you zealous for the law, follow me, because we out here. We off this. Because you know, after he killed the king's commissioner,
Yeah, the road.
you know, the feds is coming out. You know what I'm saying? The feds is coming out. You know what I'm saying? You know, run now. N-O-R-E, man.
The same reason why Moses fled.
Right, same as why Moses fled.
So he and his sons fled into the mountains.
Right, they fled into the wilderness. Jump to verse.
Salaki, what happened when the sodomite jumped up in Times Square and he got banged on, right? What I said, that's it, it's over, let's go, we gone. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna stay there and catch the supercharged.
God, brothers fled. Brothers fled back to the borough. Right? Let me get verse 32 out.
Okay, verse 32. They pursued after them with a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day.
On what?
On the Sabbath day.
Like Yeshaya said, these people study us, man. He saw such a cunning hunter. He said, I'm a war with these people on the Sabbath day. Because they Sabbath is a day of rest. So I'm going to get at them on their day of rest. Right? We on verse 32. Right? So he said, we're going to go to war with them on their Sabbath day. How wicked is that? Our holy day. But who else is shooting up schools, shooting up synagogues, right? Right? Shoot up everything, right? Because, hey, Dylan Roof ain't care that these people was in church. Right? He killed them when they was on their holy time. It's the same type of people, man. Right? Read on.
And they said unto them, Let that which ye have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day.
Right.
So then they gave them the battle with all speed.
Right. So now they're gonna fight them on the Sabbath. Right. Read on.
Howbeit,
With all the smoke.
With all the smoke. Right. Esau wanted all the smoke on the Sabbath though.
Right.
Right. Read on.
howbeit, they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them,
So they even fight back. They was being over righteous. Right. Read on.
nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us die all in our innocency.
They said, "Let us die in our innocency. Like we're not gonna go against the king. We're not gonna do the king's commandment. Neither we gonna profane the Sabbath day by fighting. Because in their eye, fighting on the Sabbath day, we've been profaning. Right? You know?
What does that sound like?
No, that's not Martin Luther King.
That sounds like Christianity.
That's not like Christianity.
That's what they tell you to do.
Turn the other cheek.
Turn the other cheek. Leave it in God. Let Jesus take the wheel.
Right. Being over righteous.
Right, being over righteous, right? Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 16. Don't be righteous over much. Man.
Lightning straight don't magically appear. Get you out of the situation.
Somebody had asked me that question too. If it was okay to fight during Jacob's trouble. I just pointed them right here.
Yeah, what you mean?
Pointed
it's
them right
okay
there.
To fight, to protect your
family.
Your family.
You know what I mean?
You
Yourself.
better fight.
Yeah, exactly. I just pointed them right here. Read that.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16. Everybody have the same comment.
God.
Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
And they basically destroyed themselves because they didn't protect themselves. Look what happened though. All because they didn't protect themselves. Read on now.
I forgot where was it. It was at 33.
You was at 37.
37. Okay, kind of. Yeah, that's right. Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us all die in all our innocency. Heaven and earth shall testify for us, that ye put us to death wrongfully. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath day, and they slew them with their wives and children.
With their wives and children. Right? So don't think Esau is going to stop by just killing you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not him. He going to also kill your wives and children. This is why you're supposed to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Khan?
Okay.
Read.
And their cattle,
And their cattle.
to the number of 1,000 people.
1,000 people died. Because what? The man wanted to be on some turn the other cheek.
Right.
Right? Not non-violent protesting. Right?
When you got a war spirit, man, you got the Most High put that warrior mentality in you, man. You know, you could be in your house, and I'm speaking for myself. You know, I'm in the house by myself, and I'm not scared. But guess what? If I'm sitting in the bathroom, if I'm sitting on the sofa, if I'm sitting, the biscuit is right there. It don't matter what room I go in. I done seen videos of people like they just hide and they end up in somebody else's house, stuff like that. You don't know what, you know what I'm saying? Somebody break through your door and you just, you know what I'm saying? You just stuck. Nah, if you especially if you're in a legal state, man, you bring that sucker or put one in each room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's always arm's reach. So you don't get caught with your pants down. And that's not being nervous, that's not being scared, that's gonna be prepared.
And being smart.
Because you don't know when stuff could pop off. You know what I mean? And yeah, they gonna come for you. They gonna come for you. But it don't, like I always tell everybody, we might have to shoot and kill one of our own before one of our real ops.
Yes, that's real.
Most likely.
Yeah. Real.
All right, read on that though, Doc.
Verse 39. Now when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof, They mourned for them right sore.
Right? They mourn for them like, damn, like they went out like that. They went out bad. Right? Read on.
And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth.
So we can't do that because if we allow them to keep on using that strategy, they're gonna keep on doing it. It's like an arcade game. They want to keep on tripping you now, right? They're gonna cheese on it. They're gonna, we're just gonna keep on killing them on the Sabbath. They ain't gonna fight back, right? So now they feel like no, we can't do that. We can't be over righteous, right? Read on.
And one of them said to another, if we all do as, oh, I just read that, didn't I? 41. At that time, therefore they decreed, saying.
They did what?
Decreed, saying.
Right.
Whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him. Neither will we die all, as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
So now they said that we're gonna fight on the Sabbath day. We're not gonna be murdered, right? So now what they said, is that lawful? Right? How is it lawful though?
I'm saying, like, what do you mean? Like, is it lawful? Can you fight on the Sabbath day if you're gonna protect yourself?
If you're gonna protect your brethren and the laws in your family, how would you say that's lawful?
Well, it ain't in the law, but it's like
It is in the law.
it ain't in the law that what's it called?
Cause you taking up for the brother, right?
It's doing good work. Just like if you changing a tire, if your wife get a flat tire or something.
It's doing good work.
Doing good work. You're doing it for your people.
So like it, that's like if you said your cattle stuck, get your cattle out.
Right. If your ox is in the ditch.
Ox is in the ditch.
But did Yahweh make that up? No. He got it from where?
Get it from the Old Testament.
He got it from the law.
But it's good to, and it said, so
Oh, here it
defend yourself. You can't defend yourself.
Here it is.
So,
Right. Is your ox is in the ditch? That's it. Don't literally have to mean a ox, because how many of you Negroes own an ox?
yeah.
You see, so it's talking. Right. It's something that recently I ain't had no damn heat in my house. I had to call the guy, and he came to fix my heat on the Sabbath because we couldn't get it. We couldn't get, and I needed the damn heat. Is that not righteous? Yeah, it's righteous. I'm not sitting in the cold. I've been sitting in the cold for like a whole week. You know what I'm saying? Once that sun go down, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So that's called wisdom.
Right.
It's wisdom. But that's Exodus 21 and 33, Baba Bashar.
Bring it up.
Exodus,
Somebody bring it out. Bring it out.
yeah, because I want to get the scripture before it or after it.
I got 23 and 5.
And somebody get Mark chapter 3.
And then I got Matthew 12 and 12 too.
21 and
Do
33.
Mark instead. Do Mark 3. Start at 1.
You gotta read that loud.
Mark 3.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 33.
Bring it out.
And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be hid.
Right.
And if one man's ox hurt another, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox, and divide the money of it, and
Right.
the dead ox.
Right. So do you lose out on the ox? You just let them stay in there? No, because now you gotta. If you sold them, you gotta pay that back.
Right.
No, you go help the damn ox. If you got a flat tire, somebody asked that recently. I forgot who. They asked, "Can we put gas in our car on the Shabbat?" Well, I will hope you will, or you're gonna be pushing it like Fred Flintstone. And so you better off doing that. You're gonna have to do more work.
So it costs you double if you don't.
Right. So it's called wisdom. Yahweh Shah gave you wisdom. And then he tells you also the Sabbath is not, what we say, how you say it? The Sabbath is not made for man.
Well, man is made for the Sabbath.
Man made, or is the opposite? Which one it is? Give me.
That was made from man.
Man was,
Man was made from sin.
how you say it?
You're gonna get how we said it, right? It's Mark 2 and 27.
Count. Mark 2 and 27.
And he said unto them, Mark 2 and 27, he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath.
Right. So you got to do what the hell you got to do on the Sabbath, man.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be working, but once again, if your ox is in the ditch, you know you could get a little overtime to pay you back in rent. You got an eviction notice. What you gonna say? Well, I'm not. You know, I ain't working that Sabbath.
That's
No,
being over righteous.
go to work, man, because you're gonna be out here now. Now you're gonna put your burden on other brothers and sisters. Now we gotta chip in and give you a GoFundMe to help you out.
And then ultimately you're gonna end up blaming the camps for not helping you.
Okay.
That's what's gonna happen.
Right. You see.
Personally know that.
So use wisdom. If somebody come to kick your ass on a Sabbath, you better fight back.
Right.
You better. You don't go out like no Christian.
Let's get Mark. Say Mark get 3 and 1 and read to verse 4.
The book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 1. And he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. And they watched him, whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. And he saith unto the man which had the withered hand, stand forth. And he saith unto them, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days?
Because listen, Yahweh Shai was on another level. He used to perceive people's thoughts. So he knew that the Pharisees were scheming on him to see if he was going to heal this man on the Sabbath day so they could accuse him for breaking the Sabbath. So now he posing a question to them, like, would it be lawful for me to do this? Heal him on the Sabbath day, right? Read on.
Or to do evil,
Or to do evil.
to save life, or to kill.
To save life or to kill. Right?
But they held their peace.
They held their peace. They was confounded, right?
When you read the scriptures, man, Yahweh Shai was a troll.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
trolled the hell out of
Yeah,
the
I was gonna say that too. He was a dick, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He would ask them questions just to mess with them, just to play games with them. You know what I mean? You want me to keep going on that?
Don't you think that you know we are in captivity, still in captivity. So we have to be able to, like you said, be wise, use our wisdom, because we are still in captivity. And man, if someone come up on you and you ain't doing nothing to them, you got to defend yourself.
Right.
I don't care what day it is. You know what I'm saying? So, and I believe the Most High understand that we in the evil time. We in a lot of evil time.
Right. You got to bite, scratch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, man. You gotta protect you and your family.
Right.
Period.
What verse you in?
This is Mark. Just read the end of fourth verse.
Right. So read Matthew 12 and 12. He sum it up in that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 12. How much then is a man better than a sheep?
Right? Because what? To dig an ox out of a ditch, right, is part of the law, right? See, now you're going to pay that man back his money, right? So how better is a man than a sheep? How better is your life, period, right? Your body's a temple. That's what the scriptures say. So you're not going to defend the temple. You're not going to defend the Most High. You're not going to defend the Most High's people. You're not going to defend yourself. You're not going to love your neighbor as yourself and defend him. How better is a man's life than sheep, right? Read on.
Wherefore, it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath
It
days.
is lawful to do well on the Sabbath day. Right? Hey, if you run across a person that's starving and you got to spend a little money to feed them, it's a Sabbath. You're not really breaking the Sabbath if you're feeding them, man. If you could wait till the sun go down, that's what's up. But if that man about to die, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? I remember when a person from a certain camp passed out from exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
We went and bought them some water. We brought the water to the camp, even though they refused it. Out of pride.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
And I told them that day, because nobody came to camp with water that day. I said, man, go to the store and get some water. But it's the Sabbath, it's water. You're going to die out here, man.
Yeah,
Go get some water.
Person right down the block at the other camp fell out. Or that hot leather.
That same
You know
day.
what I'm saying?
Yep. I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? And we like, yo, go get some water, man.
He refused to walk.
That's why the Most High said that the Sabbath was made for man, not the other way around. Because it's made for you to live and rest.
For you to rest. For you to rest.
For you to die because you're being over righteous.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's how I cut a Muslim too, because a Muslim like, God needed rest, your God needed rest. I was like, no. Most High know that we need rest. And I cut over that scripture that Mark 2:27, that the Sabbath was made for man, man was made for the Sabbath. Right? That's it on that. Let's get back to the Maccabees. For the sake of time, I'm gonna skip certain things I wanted to get into. For the sake of time, because it's going on almost 10. Brothers want to eat, drink, and be merry in an orderly fashion. All right, so let's go to Maccabees chapter 2, verse 49. Read 49 and 51.
The book of Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 49. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law.
Do what?
Be ye zealous for the law.
So, Matthias, his dying wish was for his sons to be zealous for the law. Right? Read on.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
And do what?
Give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
He said, ride out and defend your father's covenant, man. And give your life for it. Read on.
Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Right, and that's how you receive honor and everlasting name. That's verse 51.
Okay.
Right, yeah, that's it on that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 through 7, because what Matthias did was law. He made sure that his sons, right, learned how to follow the law. Right, it's law to teach your children the law, and that's what Matthias just did in his dying breath. Then I want you to get First Maccabees chapter 3. Yeah, start at verse 4, read through verse 7.
Okay. This is Deuteronomy chapter
Read,
6, verse 4.
8, then we're going to jump down into...
Everybody have it, say con. Deuteronomy 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Read.
And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
And that's what Matthias did. He taught the laws diligently unto his children, right? Read on.
And shall talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
That's it on that. Go to First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. We're just going to read how Judas, followed his father's footsteps and put the beats on heathen.
The book of First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1. Then the sons Judas, called Maccabeus.
Called what?
Maccabeus.
Maccabeus, right? Come on now.
Rose up in his stead.
In his father's stead. He continued what his father was doing. And he actually did even better, man. Like how you had Roy Jones, you had Roy Jones Jr. come and just topple everything, man. Right? King Griffey, then King Griffey Jr. came through and smacked everything out the park. You understand? It's the same thing. Right? Read on.
And all his brethren helped him. And so did all they that held with his father.
Right? So all his father old homeboys and all his new brethren that came up and made a brand new team. Right, read on.
And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
And they fought with cheerfulness, man. Right, the battle of Israel. Read on.
So he gat his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword.
And he protected the horse how?
With his sword.
You know, by marching.
With his
By
sword.
yelling Black Lives Matter.
With his sword.
With his sword. Read on.
In his axe he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey.
Right, read on.
For he pursued the wicked.
He did what?
Pursued the wicked.
Read.
And sought them out.
Read.
And burnt up those that vexed his people.
And he burnt up those that vexed his people. His people. Read on.
Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him. And all the workers of iniquity were troubled.
And all the workers of iniquity was what?
Were troubled.
Read.
Because salvation prospered in his hand.
Salvation prospered in his hand. Read on.
He grieved also many kings.
He grieved what?
Also many kings.
So he went around putting the swizzy beats on everybody. Right? Read on.
And made Jacob glad with his axe. And his memorial is blessed forever.
And his what?
Memorial is blessed forever.
That's why you got the book of Maccabees, man. Because his memorial is blessed forever. Read on.
That's what we celebrate now. This is it.
God.
Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them, and turning away wrath from Israel.
And he turned away wrath from Israel. When you get the ungodly out of Israel, that's how you turn away the Most High's wrath. So like Ephraim said, man, sometimes the first people we got to take out is the people that look just like us, man. Right? Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong? Seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day.
So now I was looking at the cards that stacked up against them. Because not only was they fasting all day, right? And they all feeling weak now because they don't say you just finish off that fast. Only thing you want to do is get that one little meal in and go to sleep, right? But now not only was they fasting all day, they tired, and the multitude that's coming against them is great, right? Way deeper than they are. Right, but listen what Judas say. Judas, read on.
Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Right, he said it's no hard matter for us to take out all these dudes, man. Right, don't fear that they are deep. Read on.
And with the God of heaven, it is all one, to deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
Right? He said it could be a great multitude with the God of heaven on our side. That's where that faith come in, right? You lack faith if you just folding up. Read on.
The same thing that Caleb said too. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength cometh from heaven.
Right? He said the multitude of hosts don't matter. They could be 1,000,000 deep, man. The battle's in what? The strength that comes from heaven. Read on.
They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our laws. Wherefore, the Lord himself will overthrow them before our face. And as for you, be ye not afraid of them.
Right? And jump down to verse 27.
Now, when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation.
So King Antiochus hearing that, they butts with, man. Not even by a large multitude, just some nigga and his boys. You know what I'm saying? Beating everybody up, right? So, he furious. Like, what the hell is going on? Read on.
Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army. He opened also his treasure and gave his soldiers pay for a year, commanding them to be ready whensoever he should need them.
You gave him advance.
Mm-hmm. Cash advance. Yep, sure did.
He gave him an advance.
They
right?
usually say half up front, half after the rest is done.
Nah, take it now.
Take it now.
Nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasures failed, and that the tributes in the country were small because of the dissension and plague.
So now he got his own men's turning against him, right? The dissension was amongst them, right? Not even the money was good enough. Read on.
Which he had brought up the land in taking away the laws which had been of old time.
Read.
He feared that he should not be able to bear the charges any longer, nor to have such gifts to give so liberally as he did before. For he had abandoned above the kings that were before him.
Right. So now everything is crumbling around him. Right. Basically, he's in peril right now. Jump down to verse 33.
And to bring up his son Antiochus until he came again. Moreover, he delivered unto him the half of his forces and the elephants, and gave him charge of all things that he would have done, as also concerning them that dwelt in Judah and Jerusalem.
So now they really calling in the reinforcements, elephants and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What does it sound like? The movie 300,
300,
right?
yep. The Persian.
All right. Read on.
To wit, that he should send an army against them to destroy and root out the strength of Israel and the remnant of Jerusalem, and to take away their memorial from that place.
Read.
Salakia, you remember the movie The Professional?
Yep, Leon.
Leon the Professional?
Yeah.
He was shooting everybody in the hallway, and then the Edomite said, call everyone. He said, what
do you mean everyone?
Everyone! Yeah.
God, yeah, this is something like that for real. Read on, King.
And that he should place strangers in all their quarters and divide their land by lot. So the king took the half of the forces that remained and departed from Antioch, his royal city, the 147th year, and having passed the river Euphrates, he went through the high countries. Then
Jump down to 42.
Okay. Now, when Judas and his brethren saw that miseries were multiplied, and that the forces did encamp themselves in their borders.
Right, so now this is everybody, right? Like he said, everybody after them now, right? Read on.
For they knew how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them.
Read.
They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Then was the congregation gathered together that they might be ready for battle, and that they might pray and ask mercy and compassion. Now Jerusalem laid void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place. And joy was taken from Jacob, and pipe with the harp ceased.
Right, jump to 47.
Then they fasted that day, and put on sackcloth, and casted ashes upon their heads, and rent their clothes, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So what they did what?
Sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Like I said, the Renaissance all over again, but the images was about us, right? He guided the images of the book of the law, and he took back his nationality, and he took back a strategy to defeat them. Read on.
They brought also the priest's garments, and the first fruits, and the tithes, and the Nazarites. They stirred up, who had accomplished their days. Then cried with a loud voice toward heaven, saying, what shall we do with these?
Right, verse 54.
Then sounded they with trumpets, and cried with a loud voice, And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people, even captains over thousands, and over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s. But as for such as were building houses, or had betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful, those he commanded that he should return.
So what law is that? Where you find those laws?
That's in wait.
It's getting late. Let me help y'all out. Exodus 20 and 8.
No, Deuteronomy 20.
Is Deuteronomy 20 and 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 20 and 8. Trying to run through this right quick. Right, he said people that's planted vineyards, people that just betrothed wives, and people that's fearful, y'all could go, right? Why is that important, y'all? Why is that a great strategy from Yahweh? Because the people that's planted vineyards, what? They still feeding the nation. The nation got to eat, regardless if we going to war or not. The people that just betrothed wives are doing what? Creating future soldiers. Yeah, go do what you do with your wife. We're going to need some more re-up. Right? And the people that's fearful, what happened? You're just going to slow us down. You're just going to distract us. You're just going to make us, other people, scared.
Yeah.
You know how people are. A nigga start running right now, we all running too. We don't know why we running. Why we running? I don't know. I see him running. You know what I'm saying? That's how people are. So if you're scared, man, don't overcome, man. We scared, go to church. Right? So that's why the law is important. Let me get Deuteronomy 20 and 8.
God. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 8. Everybody have to say God. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
You see that? If you're fearful, return to your house, unless your brother's heart be faint and fearful like your heart, man.
Spread that fear.
Yeah, that fear spreads.
That fear, man. Spread like a disease. All right, jump to verse 58.
Come on, verse 58. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
The reproach of what?
The heathen was put away.
Right, Judaeus, right? Maccabeus, he done beat the hell out of all the heathen. He put them away. Read on.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days.
Right, at the space of what?
8 days.
Right, the feast of dedication is 8 days, man. Right, you're supposed to be keeping this 8 days, right? Today is day 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, read on.
From the 5 and 20th day of the month.
From the what?
5 and 20th day of the month.
So he said, to hell with your 25th. We're going to do it on our 25th, right? Read on.
On the 5 and the 20th day of the month, Caslu, with mirth and gladness.
That's what?
Mirth and gladness.
Read on.
At that time, also, they builded up the Mount Sion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before.
Read.
And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it.
All right, Khan. So we're gonna jump all the way to chapter.
But read the rest of that.
Yeah, I was about to say that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Who's Idumea?
And who's Idumea?
As Esau.
So that was chapter 3, right?
4.
That was chapter 40.
Okay, Khan. So that's it. That's the feast of the dedication, man. All praises, man.
Yeah, let me just read this before. This is a little summary of it. The name of the festival, the High Holy Day, in First Maccabees is instituted to celebrate the dedication of the altar 1 Maccabees 4, verse 59. And the Hebrew word for dedication is Chaanakah. It is by this name the festival appears in rabbinic literature. But even today, the name Chaanakah is usually translated to English as the Festival of Lights, the name given ascribed to it by Josephus, who is the only ancient author to do so. Why does Josephus call Chaanakah the Festival of Lights? In modern times, we assume that the term refers to the customs of lighting the Chaanakah menorah, a 9-branched candelabrum, to which one candle is added each night during the 8 nights of the festival. There is a 9th central candle used to light the others, but Josephus says nothing about this custom. And in fact, he seems to be unaware of it, for he invents his own explanation of the name. The freedom to worship had been concealed in darkness and is now brought to light. But the 8, because I don't know if you ever seen the 8 candle menorah. They got the 9, but then there's the 8. But the 8 is usually one behind the middle, and that one that's where you pour the oil. They wasn't using candles; they were using oil.
Yeah.
So that's the one that you pour the oil in to keep the rest of the candles lit. Because if the candle, if they lit, the oil's lit, you can't pour oil on top of that because it's gonna shut it off, right? Or it might start a fire. So you gotta put it in the middle. So there is an 8 one, and that's the 8 joint is called is the candelabrum. Is a samash in the Hebrew. Is the middle of the 8th candle menorah. You understand? That's what makes it the 8, one in the middle. But that's just the order. I don't know where the hell they got the 9 from, but nobody's more profane than Esau.
Right.
That's right.
Real quick, we gotta show you how Ashar celebrated it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, John 10. John 10, I think you start at verse 20. Right? Because this is what Yahushua celebrated in the season, in the cold season. He did not celebrate wicked ass Thanksgiving, nor did he celebrate wicked ass Christmas. Right. John 10, I think you start at verse 20. Or 21.
You want me to read it or you got it up?
There it is, man.
The book of St. John, chapter 10, to verse 20. And many of them, hold on, I'll just start at verse 19. There was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these sayings. And many of them said, He hath a devil and is mad. Why hear ye him? Others said, These are not the words of him that hath a devil. Can a devil open the eyes of the blind? And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
The what?
The feast of the dedication.
Right, the Hanukkah, the Chaanakah, right, the dedication. Read on.
And it was winter.
It was what?
And it was winter.
When it's cold outside, man, you already know it's Hanukkah time. Right? When the weather outside is frightful, right? That's Hanukkah time, man. Read on.
And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
And he went to celebrate the Hanukkah in the temple. So, you know, he celebrated it. He was real about it. He went to the temple amongst everybody that even like him. He said, to hell with y'all, I'm going to come up here and put it on for the Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ephraim said, he trolling them anyway. Like, yeah, I know you don't want me to show up. I'm going to show up anyway. Right? So that's it on that.
And real quick, Zechariah 4 and 2, just to show the menorah is biblical. Zechariah 4 and 2.
Too daggone far.
Because a lot of people, you know, some people is against the menorah too. You're gonna have scoffers amongst everything.
I got it.
Go ahead, you got it, just read it.
Zechariah chapter 4, verse 2. And said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick, all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof.
Right. Go ahead.
And 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof.
Right, so that's what you do. You put the olive oil. You put the oil in it.
And
But
give Revelations to that. When Yahweh shall mention 7 candlesticks.
right. So the menorah is biblical, and so is the lily, but we're not gonna go into that.
We can go into it later.
Yeah. You know, it's not an idol. You can light the menorah. You should have one in your house. Freezer box sells them. You can highlight them. You got all different sizes.
Right. When wear one around your neck, highlight my brother
Freezer box.
Freezer Bike.
Mm-hmm. But I gotta give I ain't gonna front. I gotta give a shout out. The first people that was putting out those menorah chains was Ephraim. Shout out to How Music, Gedalia, and Yohanan. Brothers took their joint and ran with it. And brothers tell me this all the time when they join. They like, you know, HO, I took our stuff and ran with it. I said, well, you know, yeah, you're right. I can't deny it. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight them too. They got some good menorah chains too.
So where did they come from with the 9 candlesticks? Where did they get that from?
Well, he just said it in what I just read. Josephus said they just added to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
You want that in Revelations?
Yeah, get that right.
The book of Revelations, 1 and 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
You saw what?
7 golden candlesticks.
Right.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
That's it on that.
And read the 20th verse. Revelation 1 and 20.
Verse 20. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, Salakia, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches.
Right. So the candlestick represents more than just Hanukkah. It represents the 7 churches. It represents the 7 angels. It represents the completion of creation. You understand? So it has a lot of different meanings to it, and it actually goes deeper. The rabbit hole goes deeper with the menorah. It represents, if you count all the feast days, it represents all the feast days too. You know what I mean? It goes deeper. So it has a lot of different meanings, and that's why, you know, what the scriptures say, the wicked ain't gonna understand. They'll never comprehend this. That's why they stir all the way off and give you a 9. You see what I'm saying? With no understanding of it.
No explanation either.
And it's not scriptorial at all. So where do they get this from? These are the same people that love foreskins.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how they even describe the Hanukkah without the story of the Maccabees, because I don't hear them talk about that.
Now they spin dreidels. That's what they do. They spin dreidels. Like, where is that at?
I don't get it, man.
You know what I'm saying? But yes. So with that, we're gonna set the prayer up. We should do the anointing first, Lord Bashar.
Yeah.
So we do the brothers since y'all here, and then we do the sisters.